It's another rainy day in the lakes, so I've decided to make the most of it, and I've come back to that waterfall that I did in the last video, or 2 videos ago. And after I ended the last video, I had a bit of an experiment, and I got out the macro lens, and I found that you can get some really nice close-up shots of the waterfall. I think it works better today. It's a bit more contrasty because it's a lot darker, and it's making the bright colours really stand out. So we're going to just use 100mm today, and we'll run through a few of the shots that we got. So with this first one, I've gone for a close-up on this bit of a square that you can see standing out. We've got the water dripping down here, then it's forming a pool, and you're getting all the leaves scattered around there. For the composition, I've got that sharp square bit up on that top corner, and then you're getting the water dripping down and it's sort of zigzagging its way through the picture. Then you're getting all the leaves scattered around and in the pool at the bottom, and it's all stuck to the rocks. So what I'm doing is I'm actually underexposing it a little bit just to make these highlights stand out more. I've also got a polarizer on. I've not got the polarizer twisted all the way because I still want there to be some reflections just to make it more natural. You can see it shining in the sunlight, so I want that still to be there. But it's making the rock a lot darker and a lot more contrasty. So we'll grab this one. It's a 8-second shutter. So we're going to get some of the movement of the water, and it's going to be a white line, and I think that's going to contrast really nicely with the dark rock. Then you've got all the autumn leaves that are contrasting with both of those. So it's sort of simple but bold at the same time, and I think that's why I like this spot. I like things to be simple but bold. So there's also all these leaves down here, and I might try and do something with that big fall there, but I'm going to have an experiment and see what I can come up with. While I've been taking them photos, I've been having a look around, and you see that fallen tree that's there? There's a few autumn leaves that have caught behind the branches, and I think it might be quite good to try and get the white of the waterfall quite prominent on the left of the frame. Then we'll get that autumn coloured leaf trapped behind the stick on the right hand side. It's going to be quite awkward to frame this one, but I'll try and run through it with you. You have to be really careful because the rocks are really slippy. I also don't want to put any footprints anywhere that'll be noticeable, so I'm staying on the rocks. We could get that shot through here. Now, we're setting this up. I don't want to put my tripod on anything that's going to move because these are a bit of a long exposure. This is framed up differently to how I expected, but these branches on the right hand side are actually working quite well. Can you hear me? I'll turn this way. The branches on the right are working quite well because it's framing it. We're getting a bit of a V shape on the right, and then we're not getting all the waterfall on the left. It's sort of just the side of it, and it's coming across to the right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to F4, and we'll get a 2-second shutter speed. And I'm going to manually focus it on the leaf, and we'll get this one. You can't really tell it's a waterfall there. We'll go to F8, 8-second shutter speed. We should get more of the water coming across now. I'm getting soaked. Yeah, I quite like that. This isn't my usual style. I don't normally like this kind of thing, but it's fun to experiment. I like how the bright autumn colour is what your eye's drawn to. Then you get all the subtle details on the left hand side. I got absolutely soaked then, but I quite like that. I'm not sure if you could hear me, but a little bit of a different style to usual. And we'll try and find a third composition now. You know what, while we're trying different things, I usually hate it when things are out of focus. So we'll try and get a bit of motion blur in them leaves down there. Gonna be honest, I can't stand this kind of thing when I see it, but maybe I'll like it if I try it. I'm not sure. I've got this one framed up, and what I've done is I've got that bit of a basin down here, and there's a load of autumn leaves on the top. Got all these autumn leaves around it, and I've focused on this leaf here, and you can see all the leaves moving around in the background. Maybe if we twist the polarize to make that water a bit darker, I think that looks better. All of the leaves should be in focus on the foreground, and then there should be a bit of a colourful blur behind it. Doesn't sound that great. A big rain cloud has just rolled above me. It's got really dark. That one's come out. We have got the leaves are in focus on the front. I haven't zoomed in, but they look quite in focus. And we are getting a bit of a blur behind it. I don't like that. I don't think it's worth playing around with that. Try something else. I think I'm going to end this video here though, because I'm about to get soaked. So I'm going to try and get a few more photos and see what else I can find. And I did this one because I always bring that 100mm when I come out into the woods in case I find some like mushrooms or anything to photograph. But you can use it for other things too. I use it quite often for landscapes. I don't trust that on there. But I hope you liked the video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and share the videos around if you like them. And I'll see you next time.